Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel, checking it out today. And we are going to be giving tips and advice, guys, on how to correctly rig a trailer on a jig, because it's not as simple as it seems, and there's several different ways that you can do it. And I'm sort of going to run through, show you guys how to do it, and explain which ways are better in which situations. Also, guys, you probably heard me talking about it. Just wanted to invite you to check out my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of the video. They got a bunch of good spring sales going on right now. There's a bunch of stuff on Tackle Warehouse that's 25% off. So if you guys are looking to get some tackle for this spring, if you can use that link in my description, it's a good way to support the channel. And also check out their fantasy fishing program they got. I'll put that link in the description too. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, I'm going to run through here. There's more to this than what a lot of people think as far as how to rig a jig trailer, and I'm going to sort of go through it. Now, here's a typical jig trailer. This is a Zoom Super Chunk here, and it's one of the most popular trailers out there in the market. It has been for years. One of my favorites, one of my top 2 favorite trailers. Basically, it's just a straight tail leg trailer, and you got your chunk up here. So the first thing to remember is when you rig a jig, guys, you always want to put the chunk side or the bottom side down like this, or it's flat across the top on your jig. I see a lot of people that they rig it like this, and I'm not saying you can't catch them like that, but I just don't think that falls as good. I don't think it looks as natural in the water. So first of all, on all these chunks, turn them up like that where they're facing that. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can really put a trailer on a jig based upon what you're trying to accomplish. The first way is threading it on. Now, by threading it on, that's what we're doing. We're just coming through the whole chunk all the way through, and we're threading it up on the keeper that's on the jig right there, where it locks into place. And this is the way that a lot of people fish a jig right here. They thread it up on there. And this is a really good way to fish it, especially if you want a compact profile, because threading it up on the shank, it reduces the length of the trailer. So as far as being compact, that's a really good way to do it. Now, the other way to do it is basically hooking it like the old school pork frog. Now, the way I do that is I take the same chunk, and then also, guys, what I'll do is I'll see how it's thick on the front there. I'll take a little bit about that, and I'll either just bite it off or cut it off with some scissors to where you don't have quite as much plastic there. That way you have more of a hook bite gap. And then you simply just thread it on just like the old pork frogs like that. You stick it on just on the end there. You don't thread it up the shank. What this does is it gives you a longer profile. So the 2 different variations on it is hooking it on like a frog to give you a larger, longer profile, or threading it up the shank for a more compact profile. So the next question goes is, how do you decide if you want a compact profile or if you want a longer, more bulkier, bigger looking jig out there? A lot of it depends on the time of the year and the type of cover that you're fishing. I have found a lot of times that if I'm fishing thicker cover, like really, really thick cover, like, thick grass beds or thick flooded bushes or something like that, I prefer a larger profile, especially if the water's a little bit off colored and dirty. Larger profile, it gives them a better target, it silhouettes better, catches bigger fish because it looks larger like that. And under other conditions where I'm fishing sparser cover, say if I'm pitching a jig next to boat docks or something, or pitching them in a lay down tree, or pitching them around a stump or something like that, sometimes I like a little bit more compact profile, especially if the fishing's a little bit tougher. And if your fish are a little bit smaller. If you fish a body of water that is not really known for a lot of big fish in there, you might do a little bit better threading it up, giving you a smaller profile with that. And if you're on a big fish lake that's known for a lot of big ones, then creating this larger profile is going to probably get you more bites out there. But I prefer to rig it like this if I can get away with it, simply because since it does create a larger profile, you have a lot better chance for a larger fish out there. And it just seems to work better with me. Another variation with that is your water depth. Another thing that I've seen to be true is the shallower water that I'm fishing. Say, for example, if I'm flipping and pitching or casting into like water less than 3 or 4 foot deep, I find that threading the chunk on there for a smaller profile works a little bit better. And if I'm fishing a little bit deeper, maybe like casting it into drop-offs or around creek channels or around deeper timber, threading it on, like the frog to create a larger profile works better. But you don't see a lot of people rigging them like this anymore. It seems like most everybody threads their trailers on there. Very few people rig it like this, but it is my preferred choice if I can get away with it like that. But one of the things you have to consider in jigs, as far as overall fishing with them, profile is important, because a lot of the profile of a jig has to do with how big the crawdads are in your lake, because a jig is a crawdad resembling lure. It can be a perch resembling lure if you're fishing it like a swim jig. Most of the time it's to resemble a crawdad. So try to pay attention to the crawdad sizes. One of the best ways to do it, guys, is go to the lake over there, turn over a few rocks and sort of look at the crawdad sizes. Most of the time, crawdads that I think the bass prefer are around 3 inches long for the most part. So that's why you probably get more bites on the downsize, less long jig. But nevertheless, those crawdads that live in deeper water tend to be bigger, and I think that's what those bigger fish prefer, is those larger crawdads. Once in a while, it's just a bigger meal for them. But anyway, guys, that's how you rig the two different ones out there. It's just, a lot of times it's just experimentation, seeing what works, seeing what the fish want. And also another thing that you can do to create a smaller or larger profile in a jig is to trim your skirt back. So you can leave a long skirt like this if you're threading it on, but also you can take scissors and trim it back, thread it up on the shank, and it gives you a real small profile if that's what they want. So anyway, hope it helps out. We'll talk to you guys later.